Hello, and you're all very welcome along to the latest Champ.ie podcast, Ireland's premier horse racing podcast in association with Boyle Sports, Gowran Park Racecourse, EJ Menswear and Shamrock Thoroughbreds.
As they race up the hill towards the finish, Hart the Herald here on Perry Pass has absolutely bolted up under Paul Townend. On Perry Pass won by wide margin. On the final 150 yards, it's Irish point for Marie National, who's coming with every stride. They're going to the line. Irish point, Marie National on the near side.
If you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Champ.ie YouTube channel, as it helps to get horse racing content out there to the wider audience. We look forward to reading all your hashtag 5cast selections in the comments section below. Enjoy the show.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.
Hello, and you're all very welcome along to episode 43, season 6 of Champ.ie in association with Gowran Park Racecourse, EJ Menswear, Shamrock Thoroughbreds, and of course our betting partner, Boyle Sports. We're looking ahead to the 8 races on day 3 of Punchestown, the Thursday card, and hopefully we're going to find you some winners. And Barry, so far, the weather, the racing, it's all fitting in very nicely this week, and a cracking week at Punchestown.
Yes, rain, stay away. And so we've had big upsets, of course, on day 1 of the, Punchestown Festival, Dave, as we're recording, obviously looking ahead to Thursday's card. But it was nice to get a sending lark, 10-1 when we give it a mention on the podcast for day 1, of course. We haven't got results for day 2 as of yet, obviously, as we're recording. But Harry Durham, I think he's a good chance as well in the opening race, which we'll talk about in a moment on Thursday's card. But a sending lark, 10-1, that was a nice winner for the show.
It certainly was, and let's get right into the action on Thursday. Then we kick it all off with a handicap hurdle, Barry. This is going to be run over 2 miles.
Yeah, the obvious place to start, Dave, is probably Gavin Cromwell's runner in the race. The other Mozzie, who was a good winner, of course, over fences, real good winner, of course, at Ayr at the Scottish Grand National Festival. And I suppose looking at race conditions and ratings, I mean, there's every chance this horse could be very well in, £24 lower over hurdles than his chase mark of 145. But I mentioned Harry Durham, and he doesn't waste bullets, this man. Ascending lark, of course, an improving mare, taken out the listed handicap on day 1. But Harry Durham at the moment, he's operated at a 38% strike rate, and Paul O'Brien at 39%. So the two of them very much high in confidence at the moment. And 4-year-olds, Dave, the horse I'm going to go with is Turn and Finish. Of course, he previously trained by Joseph O'Brien. And the best piece of form probably on offer, if you look at the overall form and the race picture, I think was that second-placed effort to the horse that obviously went on to win the Boodles, Put Your Hands Together, at Cork, obviously, in December. That was when it was trained by Joseph O'Brien. It's had 3 starts for Harry Durham since, ran in the Boodles, and that was his first start in Handicap Company. And Turn and Finish since went on to Newcastle and ran a really good race behind a well-handicapped John Joe O'Neill runner who was well backed on the day to finish second. So I think that second-placed effort, of course, behind Put Your Hands Together from Cork, reads very, very well. As I mentioned, it's only its 4th start for the stable. I think a big field here and a strong pace to aim at for a team in form. I just thought he could be overpriced, tissue priced at the moment, Dave, 14-1. So if you got double figures on Turn and Finish, a 4-year-old, which gets an allowance here as well, rated 119, so £3 lower in Ireland than this UK mark, and gets the 4-year-old allowance. 3 4-year-olds have won this race, Dave, in the last 7 years. So I thought there was lots to like about the profile of Harry Durham's Turn and Finish.
Yeah, and I think you're right about the other Mozzie as well. Gavin Cromwell runner very, very nicely in here over hurdles in this contest. Won't be one bit surprised if he can win this and win it nicely in the opening race on Thursday. Moving on to the second race we're going to look at is the listed Steeplechase over 2 miles again, Barry.
Yeah, this is the nap pick of the day for me. I thought you could take on plenty at the front end of the market. I think Tully has been very, very disappointing, Dave. And the one I've come down on here is Jasco the Dam, owned by Basil Hoolan, of course, trained by Henry the Bromhead. We did mention on yesterday's show, Henry the Bromhead, obviously, 7 winners in the last fortnight. So stable, perhaps maybe coming back into form. He does get winners at the Punchestown Festival. We know that. And I think the standout piece of form in the looking ahead to this listed handicap chase over the 2 miles is the Grand Annual form. And Jasco the Dam having just its second run in Handicap Company, £5 better off as well with Gavin Cromwell's runner, Midnight It Is, who finished ahead of Jasco the Dam of course, in the Grand Annual. He's gone up in the weights, and obviously Jasco de Dam is rated lower in Ireland. So £5 in total better off with Midnight it is. And if you look back at the race, I think the stronger the go here at Punchestown on this quick run, which will suit, I think the better it's going to help Jasco de Dam. Just the second run in a handicap, and was really catching the eye for me, was going to be a big player, I thought, in the Grand Annual Dave on handicap debut, but for his mistake 2 out. It was a race-ending mistake, but to his credit, rallied and finished 5th under the hands of Darragh O'Keefe. So a course and distance winner, Dave, of course, at Punchestown on nice ground, 10 stone 9, Dave. 10 stone 9 as well to shoulder. So Henry de Brom had won this race with Magic Days back in 2022, and both wins for Jasco de Dam in its short career have come on good to yielding ground. So with the ground drying out, it's definitely going to help. 8-1, Dave. Given the fact that I'm happy to take on the front end of the market, that's an each-way nap for me on Thursday at Punchestown. Jasco de Dam, very keen on its chances. I think it'll be bang there.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet, choose wisely.
Well, the Latouche, of course, is race 3. It's over the 4 miles, 1 furlongs, and it's always just an absolute tremendous spectacle to watch. And looking at the field and looking at the horses in here, Vanillier, obviously, of course, at that very good third berry at Cheltenham. No run in the National when finished 14th of 34. But I'm just wondering, could Gavin Cromwell's runner, Keith Donoghue on board, maybe bounce back here in this Latouche? Or what is standing out for you?
Yeah, Dave, it wouldn't be a betting race for me. I think I'll watch on. I think when it comes to the Latouche, always remember to Uncle Junior getting up under the hands of Patrick Mullins, of course, back in 2012. That was one of the all-time great commentaries at the Punchestown Festival. But no betting the race for me. I think I will have eyes on Vanillier. I thought he was a real eye-catcher in the cross-country, of course, at the Cheltenham Festival. No run, as you mentioned, in the Aintree National. So if he bounces back, he could be maybe the one to side with. But it'll be a no-bet race for me, Dave. It'll be it always is the Latouche, a fascinating race to watch, and it'll be no different this year. But for me, no bet. We move on to race number 4.
We move on to race number 4, and we've got a very, very nice field of horses entered here for this handicap listed contest over the 2 miles 7. Plenty of horses that had very good runs last time out, including the likes of Dottie the Great for Nicky Henderson. He's also got Jericho the Repine in here, who was a very good second when last seen, of course, at Cheltenham behind Dottie the Great. So they reoppose again. But this is a cracker, and there's, as I said, plenty in here with chances.
We're going to be looking at the Pertemps form here, obviously, Jericho the Repine and Dottie the Great 1 and 2 at the Cheltenham Festival in the Pertemps. Both of obvious claims. Nicky Henderson, of course, has won this race in the past, and British trainers have a really good record in the race. So they've won it 3 times in the last 10 renewals, Dave. But for me, JP McManus, he's the man you have to be watching here. He's won it 5 times in the last 10 years. And Mark Walsh, he's gone with Park of Kings, who seem to need every single yard, Dave, of the 3 miles at Aintree. Hit the line very, very hard. But one I like here, Dave, is Comfort Zone. Simon Turns on board, obviously trained by Joseph O'Brien and owned by JP. And I just can't let him go, Dave. I was a big fan of this horse heading into the Coral Cup over 2.5 miles. But stepping up in trip, he's definitely unexposed moving up beyond 2.5 miles. He ran a cracker at the Punchestown Festival last season. And look at his form at Galway as well, behind the Wall Park. He was only beaten 2 lengths at Galway over 2 miles and 6 furlongs behind the Wall Park. That's a horse. We know what he's gone on to do. He's went on to improve by 25 plus pounds through the course of the season. So I think that overall form reads very, very well. And look at his rating in Ireland as well. He's £4 lower in Ireland than obviously what he ran in the Coral Cup. He ran absolutely no race in Cheltenham. You have to forgive him that sort of run, but the ground will be fine for him. He's unexposed over 3 miles, and he has run well at Punchestown in the past. So at 16-1, I thought he was too big, Dave. It's obviously a competitive race. I think JP McManus has a really strong hand once again. But Comfort Zone, he loves the hustle and bustle of a big field competitive handicap like this. And I think, if you're getting extra places with of course, our sponsors, Boyle Sports here, he could be one to hit the frame at 16-1. I'm expecting a big run from Joseph O'Brien's charge.
Lovely stuff, Barry. Well, that's the first 4 races looked at. Then we're going to head into our first break. And right after that, we'll take you through the final 4 races on Day 3 at Punchestown.
Yes, so hello, Barry Doyle for the Champ.ie podcast, Ireland's Pony Horse Racing podcast. I'm here with my co-host, David Byrnes, and we're here in Sligo Town, David, in EJ Menswear and EJMenswear.com. Fantastic season ahead. EJ has kindly partnered up with us to be the men's fashion partner with Champ.ie for the season. And David, we're suited and booted. You're looking sharp.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. And this fantastic bundle and this outfit we're wearing is costing $2.99. It sets you up beautifully for the racing season ahead, which includes Leopardstown at Christmas, Tyester's Day at Gowran Park, and of course, if you want to go even bigger, you can get togged out for the Cheltenham and Aintree festivals later on in the season.
Absolutely, and of course, check out the Champ.ie podcast right throughout the season, Mondays and Thursdays, and look at the offer, the tailored bundle for the racing season, $2.99, blazer, shirt, chino, socks and shoes. What's not to like, lads? Check out ejmenswear.com.
Yes, welcome back to the second part of this latest edition of Champ.ie. And Barry, we've our next race we're going to look at is the 450 on day 3. It's a listed novices hurdle. What a contest this is. But I have to say, I feel the starting point has to be 6.5. How this got beaten at Cheltenham, I'm still scratching my head to know how. And of course, we've got Jerry Hannon will get a good old crack at a Caroline Bamboo if that comes up the hill as well, or up the straight at Punchestown. But thoughts on this one? I suppose 6.5 we have to start with, don't we, from the Gavin Cromwell yard?
Yeah, we'll have to finish with her as well, Dave, because I think it will be 6.5. It's all about 6.5 here. I think this mare could genuinely be a champion hurdle mare. I think she's serious boot. And you mentioned, obviously, the new course at Cheltenham, which the Mayor's Novice Hurdle is run on the new course. I think it plays into the hands of horses who have, bags and bags of stamina. And obviously, she's won over a trip on the level, but I do think she's all speed. I think at Punchestown as well, she is a course winner. Look, it's all about 6.5 here. Boyle Sports will have a length in the odds as well, 6 or more lengths. I genuinely wouldn't put you off. I think what is she, £7 clear on official ratings of our nearest rival here. Both, of course, Caroline Bamboo and Caramuja have both been to Fairyhouse. So 6.5 didn't run because of the ground at Fairyhouse. She comes here instead, and I think she'll capitalise on being a fresh horse here. I think she'll win. I think she'll win well. There's a couple of odds-on shots. Obviously, we're going to talk about Majbur in a couple of moments' time. But I thought of the odds-on shots on day 3 at Punchestown, I thought she'd take the world of beating. 5 winning favourites, Dave, in this race in the last 6 years. She just ticks every box for me.
Yeah, she does. It's simple as that. She's just the class act if she turns up. Right, moving on to that grade 1 then on Thursday, the 525 and odds on again is this Majbur, of course, who we saw last time, 5-2 on Barry. Third at Cheltenham behind Django Bay and only by night in what was an incredible race. But this Majbur looks to have another winning opportunity here in the McManus colours in the 525.
Yeah, Willie Mullins' serious record in this 2 mile novice chase, Dave. He's gone for 10 in a row in the race, Willie Mullins. And Majbur, look, he let us down, didn't he, in the Arkle? And I'm not entirely sure he was firing on the day, Dave. I mean, I was expecting, him to go away and win quite nicely turning in. I mean, he had his own way in front. I made a couple of sketchy errors on the way around. Did the same at Leopardstown. I expect him to learn from Leopardstown to Cheltenham. But I mean, the race was there, wasn't it? He had it in the bag coming to the second last, and obviously made that horrendous error. But look, I'd rather watch this, Dave. If you're looking at, if you're one that likes to back at odds on, I think definitely 6.5 is a safer proposition here than Majbur. Only by night. Obviously, she gets the weight here. She actually finished ahead of Majbur, if you're to take placings literally in the Arkle chase. She's going to get weight. I think Majbur will win if he puts it all together here, but I'd rather sit it out. I'm going to watch this, Dave. I wouldn't even be considering lengthening the odds on this. If he wins, I hope he gets back on track. I think he's a serious talent. Heading into Cheltenham, it was all over him, but he let us down. So I think a watching brief here. But if he bounces back, Dave, he should take all the beating. And Willie Mullins, as we mentioned, he is bidding for his 10th win in the race in a row.
Absolutely. Well, the 6 o'clock race, Barry, is the Stayers Hurdle, and we're talking about horses bouncing back. Teahupoo didn't do an awful lot wrong at Cheltenham, being second to Bob Ollinger. Can Teahupoo bounce back and win the Stayers, the grade 1 at 6 o'clock on Thursday?
He won the race last year, David. Of course, he won on yielding ground. I do believe there was a little bit of good in the ground description as well when he won the Stayers at the Punchestown Festival last year. But he's had 11 wins in his career, and 10 of the 11 have come in either soft or heavy ground. So to me, the ground once again drying out is definitely going to be a small concern for Teahupoo. He's £4 clear with Hidden Valley Lake on official ratings. Hidden Valley Lake obviously took a big step forward, didn't he? At Aintree, seemed to appreciate the nicer ground as well. And he's coming in here high in confidence off the back of that Aintree win. So Rob Core with the top 2 in the market. But for me, I thought if you look at the overall field, Dave, I thought there was a lot in here with that would need to take a big step forward to get into the mix. And for me, 7 of the 11 runners, I'm not entirely sure I give much of a chance to. So I think the each way bet in the race, with all things being considered, is actually Rocky's Diamond too. The Galway Hurdle winner, of course, so we were down in Gowran Park when he won. He was so impressive on that occasion. He stacked them up turning for home. He was there to be shot at, and I thought he showed a really good attitude. And he was only having his 7th start of his entire career, Dave, in the Stairs Hurdle at the age of 5, and he put in a tremendous round. I thought to finish 4th. It was a real big run for his first run overseas and his first run at Cheltenham, and to finish 4th in the Stairs. I just think he might get an easier lead here as well. Looking at the opposition, this horse likes to be up there on the pace. He'll jump well. He obviously stays. He's proven himself over the 3 mile trip, and the nice ground as well. He's £9 set to find officially with Tiupu, but the ground might bring them closer together. He's improving. The question is, Tiupu, at his age, is he still improving? I'm not entirely sure. All 3 wins as well for Rocky's Diamond in his career have come right-handed. So for me, he's on the up. He's 7-1. To me, you can rule out more than half the field. I think he's the best each way bet of the day.
Yeah, he'll be in the mix, won't he? Absolutely, for sure. And I'm going to be very much in the Tiupu camp. I think he did, as I said, very little wrong. I'll be putting forward as a nat for Thursday's card at Punchestown. Well, the final race is the bumper on the card on Thursday, of course, and one horse that we'll be talking about in a couple of moments is the Willie Mullins trained runner who has last time out win at Gowran Park. And in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a great whole day at Gowran as well, Barry.
Certainly is. The June Bank Holiday, really looking forward to it, of course. We have Robert Grace will have the guitar out after racing. We have the Gowran Classic, of course, which is the feature racing. The richest race run at Gowran Park, of course, all season. Last year won by Dusty Foley and Jessica Harrington. Super prize money on offer. And, of course, all you have to do is head over to Gowran Park, www.gowranpark.ie. To get your tickets, to secure your tickets for what promises to be a fantastic day once again. Let's hope the sun shines once again, Dave. And the buses running to and from the city as well. Kilkenny, a fantastic city as well, of course. Rinicini's, nice restaurant, David, recommended. Ricardo and the lads, of course, down in Kilkenny City. But if you're not heading for the city, the Lord Bagnall, of course, that's the place to be. The home of the champion, not just in Ireland, but once again in the UK, Dave.
Absolutely. And Barry, final thoughts then on the bumper, final race of the day on Thursday?
Yeah, Cassar Fatal, obviously, we have to start with him. Won the Docks bumper, of course, Willie Mullins' tremendous record, Dave, in that particular race. And looks a hot enough bumper, Dave. Like we've 14 runners in here. And obviously, Willie Mullins has Danny Donatoni, who did win at Limerick, of course, last time as well. We have, obviously, the Moors, a representative, well, Al Kiras here as well. Gold in the Mountains. He Can't Dance. Finished 8th in the champion bumper. Thought he was a real eye catcher. He could be one maybe next year for an Albert Barton. And Fergal O'Brien as well brings over the well-touted Ned Hill as well. He'll need to bounce back after a disappointing run last time, but second run after wind surgery. Philly Maguire booked for Fergal O'Brien. He could be a bit of a player as well. But Cassar Fatal, I think of the Mullins Brigade. We spoke to Sean O'Keefe on the show earlier on in the week, and he thinks, this could be a smart horse and he could take high rank among the novice hurdlers next season. But I actually think the standout, I suppose, each way betting the race, Dave. I mean, if you're getting, 4-1 or anything bigger on El Caras, David Maxwell, he hasn't run a winner for 40 days, and he was playing bumper cars up the straight in the champion bumper. But I thought this was one of the real eye catchers of the festival. I think he's the form on nice ground. He's clearly a very, very talented individual, and only beaten 5 lengths by Bambino Fever. I just thought, if you're looking at proven form, proven festival form, he also has the experience edge as well over Cassar Fatal. Maybe he could be the each way bet to nothing once again. Similar theory to Rocky's Diamond, in against a sharp price favoured. Wouldn't surprise me if Cassar Fatal went on and won impressively, but he has to prove it on quicker ground. And El Caras, I like to run the champion bumper, and I think if David Maxwell, not the horse, puts it all together, he could be in the mix at odds of 4-1 or bigger.
Yeah, cracking days racing on day 3 then at Punchestown. Right, we're going to head into our next break, and right after this, we'll be back with our nap picks for Thursday's racing at Punchestown.
From Dundalk to Longchamp, from the Galway races to the Breeders' Cup, Shamrock Thoroughbreds have taken owners all over the world.
Tiger Bell in front, holds them. Late on the scene is Dawn Charger storming home, but Tiger Bell in front and won.
Coming through the centre, Laugh a Minute with a strong challenge, and it's Laugh a Minute who goes on in the closing stages to win by like the Laugh a Minute from Fiscal Roots.
But it's Harry's Bar repelling the late challenge of the stable companion Dream today, and Harry's Bar makes it 6 course wins.
Check out shamrockthoroughbreds.com or click the link link in the Champ.ie podcast video description to learn more about new racehorse ownership opportunities.
Yeah, Stephen Thorne, what a great season he had at Dundalk, and he'll be doing plenty of, I'm sure, having plenty of winners as well through the course of the flat season on the turf. Right, Barry, we're going to give our naps for Thursday. I'm going to go with T-Hooper. I'm going to stick with him. I thought he didn't do a lot wrong in that stairs hurdle at Cheltenham when just being ran out of it by Bob Ollinger in the same ownership colours, of course, and I think T-Hooper can bounce back and win the stairs. I think it's a fair enough price as well, around 13-8. Nap big for me on Thursday. And your best bets for Thursday and nap?
Yeah, look, the nap for me, David, has to be Jasco de Dam. I think Jasco de Dam here in race 2 on the card. I think second run in a handicap. I think it can progress from the Cheltenham run. The Grand Annual form to me looks the strongest piece of form on offer. He made that crucial mistake 2 out, as mentioned in the Grand Annual. I thought he was going to challenge for the victory. He plugged on obviously for 50. He's a nice low weight of 10 stone 9. Darragh O'Keefe on board, a positive once again. Good ground. Both wins have come, of course, on good to yielding ground. He's the course form at Punchestown, and he's better off at the weights with another of the fancied runners. Midnight it is. Tully Hill, I think, is vulnerable. So for me, nap pick of the day, each way nap. It's Jasco de Dam at 8-1 each way. And the next best, Dave, I'm going to side with Rocky's Diamond. I think he can close the gap with Tiupu. He's on the up. He's only having his 8th career start. I think going back right-handed, all 3 wins, as mentioned, have been going right-handed for the Decqueely stable. A winner of the Galmoy, of course, at Gowran Park, and the nicer ground as well. He is proven a nice ground, of course, at Gowran Park from the start of the season as well. So I'm expecting another huge one from run from Rocky's Diamond. The 7 or 8 of the runners here, I think they really need to improve to get into the mix. Front end of the market, I think definitely Tiupu. I just think you can take him on the ground with the improver Rocky's Diamond. 7-1 each way, Dave, is the next best for me.
Perfect stuff. Well, hopefully we found you some winners, and we'll be back, of course, with the day 4 card as well for you to look forward to. But for myself and Barry, enjoy Punchestown.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.